All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Central Valley Charter Schools. I'm kind of calling it, Blake, a replay or a recording. We, we are excited for our annual 2025 career fair, and we have Tommy Ortiz with us. Super excited to hear from him. You guys. Had questions about industries and fields that were kind of out of the box. And so, welcome, Tommy. We're super eager to hear from you. And we're interested in just having you share your experience in the hair industry. Welcome.
Hi. Yeah, hi guys. How's it going?
Quick question. So, I know there's a lot of language and terminology, and I don't have much of a background in the hair industry. I'm in education, but for our students, I know that there's barber, hairstylist, cosmetology. What is your official title or role?
So for me, I had to go to school and to get my barber's license. Although there is another section that is cosmetology, but mostly that is by women. And what separates the two of us mostly is for barbers, we're the only ones allowed to use the straight razor to do like straight razor shaves or straight razor lineup or eyebrows. And then with the cosmetology license, you're actually able to do hairs, nails, and like facials and lashes. So that's kind of what separates the two of us. But we're both allowed to legally cut hair.
Okay. Thank you for kind of clearing that up. And again, just thank you for being here. For those of you guys who don't know, those of our listeners, Tommy actually cuts my hair. And so he's a wonderful barber. What was kind of funny, I don't know if I share this with you, Tommy, but I was looking for a hairstylist, and I was on this search, and it occurred to me, you go and you see Tommy, I don't know, every 2 or 3 weeks, and he works his magic. Mr. Q is losing his hair, and somehow, I don't know how he does it, but he just makes things look a lot better up here. So I'm going to be asking you some common questions that we have. So tell us, just briefly, these are kind of common questions that students or people who are exploring that we have found that they want to know. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So me, I'm 21 years old. I've been cutting hair for about 3 years right now, and I got into the career field to like get away from college and stuff like that too. I wanted a way that can make you like good money, better than minimum wage by far, and you have a very flexible schedule. So that's mainly why I chose this career.
I love that. We've seen this, and it's actually been the WIOA, which is a workforce. I always forget that acronym, but we've seen this shift that goes back, the last 10, 15 years that, hey, college isn't for everyone. Like, we celebrate college. We think college is wonderful, but it's not for everyone. There's a lot of hands-on learning. So thank you for kind of bringing that up, that you kind of were looking for something outside of college. So tell us a little bit about your journey. So you graduated high school. What did that journey look like from then to now?
So for me, I actually started barbering in a very like weird time period. So for me, COVID was like the main reason I started barbering because my barber had to close his shop down. So at the end, or like right at the end of high school, I started ordering clippers on Amazon, started cutting my friend's hair in my bathroom. I figured like I'm pretty good at it, so might as well try to go legit and get my license so I could start charging people.
Okay.
And so yeah, so right after high school, I went straight into barber college, and it usually takes about like a year, a little under, a little over, depending on how fast you do it. And from there, yeah, I've been working at two shops at the time right now.
Okay. Quick question. Okay, getting into a barber school or some type of hairstylist school, I was reading online, and is this accurate that you can usually pursue one of these with you could get in with a certificate of completion or like a GED or a high school diploma. Would you say that that's accurate or?
Yeah, all they need, I believe, is the high school diploma or a GED, something to
Okay.
prove that you have that level.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, okay. Share, okay. This is a common question we get every year. What does a day in the life of Tommy Ortiz look like?
So for me, I'll do a good day. For me, usually on like a Friday or Saturday morning, I'll wake up, eat breakfast, and then go drive to my shop. Either if I'm the first one there, I'll open the shop by myself, or usually one of the other guys working there will open it up. But then we go, turn on TVs, everything have the music playing, and then we set up our stations. And most nowadays, people mostly book appointments, so I'll know who I'm cutting throughout the day, how long I have to take on each haircut, if I have to rush someone, or if someone needs to be squeezed in. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty chill, pretty chill. A lot of people get a lot of different services. Every haircut's really different. You can't do the exact same haircut on this person and then on this person because there's so many different like things, traits about the person's head or anything that could throw off a haircut. But yeah, it's fun. And then for the most part, you're there with your friends all day because most barbers that you work with are pretty chill guys, and makes the time go by quick. And you're getting paid to cut hair, which is something we all like doing. So yeah.
Awesome. Were there any surprises like in your field, like where you're like, oh man, I didn't anticipate this, or and they could be good or like bad or just kind of like, I call them the so-sos, where you're like, don't love it, don't hate it, but this was a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise how clueless people are about like their haircuts most of the time. Like I'll get a good amount of like fresh people walking in. It's like, hey, I don't know what to do with my hair. Like it's all going this way, but I want it to go this way. And you have to like break it down to them. And it's pretty cool to see like how people respond to like the information I know versus like the average person walking around not knowing like, oh, like if you put your hair in this style, it'll look better, or your hair's falling naturally this way. So yeah, it's always fun to like and have the possibility to change someone's like life low key just from their appearance.
So you're giving clients this feedback and potentially changing how they look. I mean, actually, I'd say a lot of times changing how they look. That's got to be awesome. Like seeing their they walk in one way, maybe shaggy hair, and they walk out ready to go. They're ready for that dinner date, and they're beaming with confidence. I love it. What advice would you give to like high school students or your high school self who's trying to like, they're kind of thinking about a hands-on career like hair, cosmetology. What advice would you give? And what skills would you say are important?
Ooh, okay. Advice I would give is to definitely be like outgoing. I know a lot of people tend to be very shy now, but if you are going to be doing something that doesn't require like a degree, like talking can get your way up really quick, really fast. So I would say that's majority for me because most people honestly don't even care about the haircut. But if you make a good conversation with them and they end up liking you, they'll come back. And for a number, like a top skill, I would say would be like social skills. Like even learning about like sports or what's trending right now could take you a long way with a lot of people.
And that makes sense because every person, I don't know about you, Blake, but every person that's ever cut my hair, we wind up having a conversation.
Yeah.
You don't think of, at least I wouldn't think of like social skills, but I guess you could say it's a transferable skill that's really, it's really important in a lot of careers. What would you say has been a challenge? I remember one. I had a hairstylist when I was living in the Bay Area, and she talked about her back hurting. She had been in I think it was many years ago, she had been in a ski accident. She recovered, she was fine, but she would talk about standing on her feet all day and her back hurting.
Hmm.
What would you say? And it could be similar or it could be just, but for those who, again, our students are in the post-secondary exploration,
Yeah.
um, I guess, time of their life. What would you say would, hey, this is a challenge when you get into the haircutting industry?
Ooh. A challenge for definitely getting in the haircutting industry is like expectations people set on you. Because like even though like you're a barber and you're supposed to know all these things, like there's hundreds of different haircuts and everyone's very nitpicky. So I'd say like it's very nerve wracking, especially when you know you're cutting someone new and they bought like an expensive service and you don't know exactly what they're looking for or how picky they are, or if they're just like they don't really care, they just want a haircut. So yeah. But I
Yeah.
have
And
heard the back pain is really popular with us,
yeah,
especially
I
standing
think
all day.
I think last time I was in there, I we were talking about people's shoes, and I think I
Yeah,
asked you about your. You said you like the Hoka, like those big
yeah,
foam ones, and it's
you
like
have to
those
get
little things. Yeah, we don't think about them if you're not. You don't think about them if you're not in the industry. Okay, thank you for sharing. Just kind of a follow up. How have you seen? So, like 3 years you've been in it. How have you seen like the career or the industry kind of changing over time?
with the influence of social media, it changes all the time. Because just
Okay.
recently we are popping off with like wolf haircuts, so everyone's getting like long hairstyles. And then once it gets into the summertime, people are starting to buzz off their hair, getting more like fades or tapers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say you definitely have to keep up with what's going on around you to like make sure you can provide what people are wanting these days.
Mhm. Um, are there like what advice would you give to someone who kind of wants to hang around a shop? And are there any entry level opportunities? So our students are based in the Central Valley. I know you're in San Diego,
Hmm.
but like recommendations for students who are like, you know what, I want to see what it's like in a barber shop, or would you recommend getting like an entry level job, like to see if they even like it, or maybe working the desk? Like I know some hair salons have like a desk, seeing if
Yeah.
they like the environment. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend if the shop you're trying to get at has like a front desk person, or you could honestly, I know how I started was I asked my barber, can I come in and watch you cut hair for a day just to see like how the atmosphere was, like how everyone's being treated and like how like someone else daily lives looks like right in front of you. And because most barbers, they're just talking to normal people, so they don't really mind if you chill out with them for the whole day and to understand like what's going on. But yeah, if they definitely have like a front desk person, that'd be a really cool way to start your career and to like get affiliated with like the people, the clientele like that's bringing in to see like what you're going to be dealing with.
I love that. Job shadowing, to our listeners, job shadowing is huge. I feel like it's a theme we talk about every year, Blake, is job shadowing. Do you have any other advice, Tommy, that you can, think of that you would give our high school, you like to give our high school students? I know we've kind of covered a lot. I'm going to be turning it over to Blake shortly. Any other advice that you can give
Mm, some
them?
advice I would give is that you can't be lazy because with these type of careers, all the money you're gonna bring in, all the like availability you're gonna have, or like things you're gonna be able to do is gonna be dependent on you. So if you're not out there trying to do the best you can, it's not gonna be as good as you think it could be.
I love that. I love that. And it seems like there's a lot of opportunity in the hair industry to open
Mhm.
up your own shop. I think last time we were talking about a mobile
Yeah,
shop, like for
mobile
busy
barber
people.
shops.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
There's so many. So it could be a viable option for those entrepreneur students who like working with, they like working with their hands and their socials. So, Blake, anything else before you take us out?
I do have one kind of question. Do you, kind of maybe a little silly one, but do you cut your own hair or do you go to a different barber as well for that?
Majority of the time, I do cut my own hair, but if it's like a slow day at the shop, I'll cut my friend's hair and he'll cut my hair, and so all of us are like trading services all day.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I just was like, do barbers cut their own hair, or do they go to someone else? So I appreciate you, satisfying my curiosity there. Awesome. No, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Ben, for sharing your time with us today. I know, obviously, we're recording this, so our viewers right now who are watching are attending live. This is pre-recorded, and if any of our watchers have questions for you, you're right. If we maybe compile a list and get that sent over to you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Awesome.
I'd be happy to answer them.
Sweet. Well, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for taking your time to come here and share your insights on your career. And it's really cool seeing all these different opportunities out here. We've had some amazing speakers in the past, and already off to a great start with another amazing speaker here today, man. Again, we really appreciate it. I know our students are going to be really interested in everything that you've shared with us today. I personally have a student interested already, like working in that environment. So I know this is going to be really cool for them. So I really appreciate it again for sharing your expertise. We'll get a list of all of the questions that we get when we share this live. And for everyone tuning in today, in the future, but for our career fair, stay tuned for our next speaker. But yeah, thank you so much again, Tommy, for being here. Jonathan, if you have anything else to say, but otherwise, I really appreciate your time, and thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you again, and to our listeners, check the career website. We're going to be posting the links there, and that'll be your one-stop shop for finding a list of our presenters and all the links. So thank you guys, and we'll see you at the next one.